We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Glad you're with us. It's Blake Groupie to get this one started, and off we go here in New Orleans. Keyshawn Nixon now going to bring it out of his end zone. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. On play action, Love to throw, sliding out of the pocket. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And that certainly could be a sign of things to come because they're blitzing to start this ball game. And it works for them there as they force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And now what's this? They fake the spike. He'll throw it. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 21. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And that is going to wind up incomplete. So they try to hit him with something you don't see too often, but it doesn't work out.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Love. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
Love to throw for it on 4th. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Oh, they were so close to the goal line, Charles. 4th down, they figure, well, we'll go for it. But the decision to pass winds up being a bad one with that interception.
Well, I think you said it really well. They may have just figured we're this close, we may as well go for it. Or they had a plan right from the beginning coming into this game to be aggressive. In any event, it didn't work out for them.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing now is Carr. Little short pass here to Hill, and he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. They'll get this out to Kamara. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They find some open field here. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Big Kenny Clark that time pushing up field to make the tackle for loss.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Little short pass here to Hill. And some room to run now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Carr now to throw. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now Carr again. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Oh, design run for their wideout. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the 2nd half gets underway. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Carr. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 43. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Carr. This one taken in by Olave. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
To throw, it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. To throw now. Here's Love. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Kamara up the middle. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Saints are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Well, we lasted all the way to the 4th quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid, but we had to know that sooner or later, someone had to surrender a touchdown, and it happened right there.
A point after, good by Groupie. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Throwing, Love. That's complete to Wicks. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. And that's caught inside the 35. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Love looking to throw it. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Love. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Love. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here's 1st and goal. Love. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered a loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
It's a building that's meant so much to the city of New Orleans and all of its residents over the years. And our coverage of the NFL has brought us to it, Caesars Superdome. Blake Groupie out and ready to send this away. And here we go from New Orleans. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. On the ground to begin the drive with McCaffrey. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Going run again with McCaffrey. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Really gay there on the tackle. A solid gain of 6 there. It's going to be 3rd and just a yard.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
McCaffrey on 3rd down. And he gets absolutely pumped to end that one. They mark him short there, and the run gains nothing. It's 4th down.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Less than a yard needed here on 4th. They got to jump up front as long as none of their guys went early, and this is going to give them the 1st down. Well, whether they intended to run the play or not, it doesn't matter. They drew the flag, and they've got themselves a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, so many times you get to these 4th and shorts, and you know that defense is antsy. You're reminding yourself as a quarterback in that huddle, hold your water, guys. Hold your water, because this defense could get jumpy, and they just did.
Purdy on 1st down. They'll get it to Brandon Ayuk. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
He'll get this to Samuel. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down, or it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. A tight end in motion now. On 2nd down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
They've worked it downfield very well to begin the drive. It's 1st and 10 at the 28. They stick with McCaffrey. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
All right, still scoreless through one quarter, but that looks like it's going to change pretty soon. Couple of zeros on the board right now. Back to the Superdome of Caesar in just a bit. Time to get the second quarter going. The 49ers set up inside the red zone. On second and less than a yard. And they're going to take this in for the San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers get the game's first points here in the second. George Kittle, the touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
That one right down the middle. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Carr gonna open with a pass here. Catch made by Alvin Kamara. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Yeah, I get it. Fans will measure a running back's merit by touchdowns, yards, the fantasy football world we live in. But as coaches and teammates, Kate, they want something a little bit more. They want to see plays like that, a guy who will always get the short yards in a critical spot like that.
Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Back to the air, Carr. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Looking to throw, Carr. Got his target. It's Hill. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Offense looking confident, but they need 4 here on fourth down. Throwing again. It's Carr. And they got home. Sacked him on fourth down. We've got a turnover on down. Welcome, football fans, to the birthplace of America, the city of brotherly love. The place where you'll find the best cheesesteak made in this country and some of the best football played inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Blake Grupe out and ready to send this away. And we're underway from Philadelphia. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Hurts comes out throwing. On the move, headed right. He's on the move. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it. Able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
From the 37. He's got Devontae Smith. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Working quickly here. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Making the stop that time, Kool-Aid McKinstry. The rookie out of Alabama, there on the tackle.
Not every corner in this league can make the play he just made right there. Sure, there's pure coverage guys. Not really known for their tackling, but this guy, well, he's someone who isn't afraid to stick his nose in there and make a stop.
This finds Smith. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. First down, a run with Barkley. And they bring him down at the 25-yard line after surrendering some good yardage. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Shotgun snap for Hurts. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
Along the sideline, Brown brings it in. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. And finally, they get there to take him down. That is a team sack all the way. Coverage was sensational. All right, still scoreless through 1 quarter, but that looks like it's going to change pretty soon. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll return to the link right after this. Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They'll need a big play to continue a nice drive. It's third and very long. Buys time, rolling right. And nothing doing on that run. Defenders bottle it up quickly.
Well, I think all quarterbacks have been there before. You start scrambling, you're hoping for something to materialize, and nothing does. You just try to get back to the line, live to play another day, and more importantly, avoid a loss.
So on fourth down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. From 37 yards in the right hash. Oh, and that's not going to do it. He hooked it. The kick no good, wide left. And we continue to await our opening score of this ballgame.
Goal to go, and to come away with nothing. Zip, zilch, nothing. It's not all on him for missing the kick. He could shoulder the blame with the 11 other guys who couldn't find the end zone on first, second, or even third and goal.
This is Alvin Kamara with it. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They go play action with Carr. This is reeled in by Taysom Hill. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
It's the 2-minute warning now from the link. The Saints hoping to put our first points on the board. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Another run for Kamara. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Call it 4 yards, and they're set up with a manageable 3rd and 2.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
3rd and just 2 to go. Carr here from the gun. This is reeled in by Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
So it'll be another 1st and 10 for him, Brock, down at the opposing 37. Here's a give inside to Kamara. And his charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
Carr off the play fake. Gets this to Johnson. And he drives it close to the red zone before going out. It's a pickup of 11. And the Saints are going to have a first down. Running behind center with Kamara. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
Just got a hand up on that to break it up. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Well, that throw, Kate, pretty clean out of his hand. Just looked like it didn't get through the defense clean enough. Somebody tips it away and saves a potential completion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. Escapes the pocket. That one is incomplete. The clock now down to 16 seconds remaining. This one intended for the running back. And that brings up 4th and long.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? We chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
And he missed it. It's no good. And we continue to await our opening score of this ball game.
Well, there's certainly never, ever a guarantee from that distance, but that's one you'd expect to be in your kicker's range. You hate to have a drive come away with nothing, but that's exactly what happened.
First down throwing for Hurts. Forces that one, and it's intercepted. Debo's got it.
So many of these NFL facilities we travel around, and we see signage all over the place. It's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. It's about protecting it offensively, and it's about doing just that, taking it away defensively.
He's back to throw. He's on the move. Now here he goes. And he's out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. We've reached the midway point of this contest. 2 quarters down and an exciting 2 to go. The NFL on EA Sports returns after this. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock Ewart with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. We've seen one half of football and no points just yet. Let's see who can finally break that deadlock here in our second half. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Just one play into this drive, and they're already sitting on their own 45. Throwing on 1st down, it's Carr. Lays out left side and gets it. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Kamara now on 1st and 10. Escapes a defender. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You call that 1st down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards. They'll take that every single time.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with Kamara. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Second down now, 7 to go. Kamara running out of the gun. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. A nice gain of 8 there, and that brings them to 1st and goal.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the 1st down. Just get to a manageable 3rd down, but instead they move the chains, and that is one disheartening look on that defense.
And he's going to get taken down near the goal line. It's a gain down to the 1. That's a gain of 8, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, this offense is trying to keep the defense off balance down here in the red zone, mixing in receiver runs with everything else they love to do. And the best part is, it's working. He gets them several yards on that play.
Kamara does not score. They not only stop him, they backed him up a couple of yards.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, and instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Oh, surprise gift to the receiver near the goal line. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Now they'll get some time to mold this decision. They'll have 4th and goal after the break. Somehow this game is still scoreless as we get set for our final quarter. Here's an important kick now for Blake Grupe. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Kicked well, and this is good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
That field goal gives them the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one isn't over, and that lead certainly isn't safe.
Here's Grupe on now to handle the kickoff. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Here's 2nd and 2. Barkley's got it. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. May still have 2 to work with in this final quarter.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Hurts now from the gun. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Hurts throwing again. And he'll go down. The Saints make the play. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
I think his decision-making wrote a check that his legs couldn't catch this time. This QB could run, and he's ranging, looking for space, looking for an outlet. But there was none to be had. No escape route available this time.
Looking to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's able to get this down to the 36. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
And he found a gap to take this down to the 28. Good rip on first down. That brings up 2nd and 2. So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Eagles down by only 3. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Tight end gets in running forward. And that hit stops him in his tracks. No gain on 2nd down, and they need 2 here on 3rd.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. They'll go from the gun with Barkley. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Eagles hustling everyone back to the line. Setting up to pass. Able to get it to Barkley. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's a Philadelphia first down. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. 2 timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. 63. Early movement along the right side. The flag comes out. There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Here he is to throw. Getting out to his left. That pass complete to Goddard. And this one doesn't go far. Philadelphia going to spend its 2nd timeout. Still 1 more in their pocket to use.
It's one thing to draw all these routes up when you're in the pocket. It's quite another when a play breaks down. Timing on routes change when you leave the pocket and scramble. What a great adjustment to still deliver a clean ball.
He'll look to throw it. He brings it in. And this is down all the way to the 3. The Eagles decide to spend their 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Throwing now. That one's incomplete in the end zone. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that leaves them with a decision to make on 4th and short.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. Here he is to throw. That's incomplete on 4th down, and they'll turn over possession. You can almost hear the noise coming from the nearby French Quarter. And they're being just as loud inside Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Will Lutz, well, he used to do this for the Saints. Now sending it away to them as we're off in New Orleans. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Here's 2nd and 14. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And brings up 3rd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Now Carr. And they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. Here comes the Saints punting unit. And he's in a real tough spot for his first kick. And he drives it towards the other end of the field. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. This one returned for 11 yards. And the Broncos will be loving their field position they have to begin this drive. 1st and 10 from the 41. Now the first run of the game for Javonte Williams. And he takes a shot near the marker, but it looks like he still has enough for that 1st down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
They've got 1st down from the 31. They stay on the ground with Williams. And they crush him right near the marker. It looks close, but yep, Brock, I think he safely got that 1st down before the hit.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Another run for Williams. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Second down now, 7 to go. Straight ahead with Williams. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
All right, first sack on the board, and the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Up the gut they go with Williams. And they take him down after just a small gain on the final play of the first. All right, still scoreless through 1 quarter, but that looks like it's going to change pretty soon. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. Back to the Superdome of Caesar in just a bit. Time for our second quarter. Let's see if the Broncos can capitalize in the red zone. 3rd and goal, here's Nix. Rolling left, buying some time. And he'll score. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos get the game's first points here in the second. Cortland Sutton, the touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ballgame.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you can go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, Carr. Got his target. It's Hill. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Carr here from the gun. Catch made by Alvin Kamara. Now here he goes down the right sideline. They get 38 out of the play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
I think one of my favorite adjectives, I don't know why, it just sounds good off the lips, is shred. Shredding paper. Shredding the slopes. Or a dude shredding a defense just like that.
Carr with it on first. And the first down pass sent away by a defender, incomplete.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Throwing again, it's Carr. Completes this one to Hill. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have first and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
They'll try with the wideout. And he gets in, touchdown. The Saints can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. Not sure we can call these gadget plays anymore, partner. Not like we could in the early 2000s, right? Because receivers who can run it, well, they've become an important part of many NFL offenses, especially down in the red zone.
And that's because the reality you face is there's only so many conventional plays, really. There's only so many reps you can get in during the practice week, so many different opportunities and traditional sets. But when you got an outlier like this, when you got a wide receiver who can run it like a running back, it presents a whole other set of issues for defenses.
And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Knicks off the play action. Ooh, almost a throw that cost him. Defender had it in his hands, but he dropped it. It's incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They toss to Williams, headed right. And the defense flows over to make the play outside. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from the Superdome. The Broncos have a lot of work to do for any points before the break. This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Escapes out to the left. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. The Saints calling for a timeout, so they're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
You know, in baseball, they call tip of the cap. I'll tip my cap at that pitcher. I'll tip my cap at that guy that just outdueled me. And sometimes as a QB, against a rush like that, you just tip your cap and you take the sack.
Going for it on 4th, Nix. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Nix from the gun. Completed to Sutton. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Nix with it on 1st. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
This is one of those situations where QB's strength and ability to run could be a great blessing, but can also be a curse. We've seen him use his feet before. This guy can escape, and that's a blessing. But it can be a curse because sometimes you think you can get out of everything, and this defense just proved he couldn't.
We have a timeout here. 2nd one taken by New Orleans. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Escapes the pocket. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. 4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch. But then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate, than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus is coming his way.
From the gun, a carry by Williams. And he's going to get taken down near the goal line. It's a gain down to the 1. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Williams, and he's in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos take the lead just before halftime. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating a defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. Only 17 seconds left for him as they begin this drive. Throwing on 1st down, it's Carr. This one's taken in by Hill. And he's out of bounds after pushing just past the 40. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
Carr now on 1st and 10. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. Now a timeout taken by the offense, and we're going to see if they try for 2 plays here or just try the field goal right now. Not much time left in the half, so the kicking team out on 1st down. It's from the right hash, 46 yards. Mickey-Tomney's kick is good. And it's dropped back down to a 4-point game.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Here's Traymon Smith with the return. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Hayward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Handoff goes to Williams, running right. Hits a seam at the 40. And he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
Ball on the 45, first and 10. They go with Williams on the counter. They'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up second and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, a run with Williams. He's going to snag a couple of yards, charging up the gut. Sent to the ground by Pete Werner. It's going to be a pickup of about 2. That leaves him with 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Flush down now to his left. He's running for it. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. As that'll leave him with just 2 to use the rest of the way. Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Nix. Connects on the crosser. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
You know these teams, they track every step of their players. Many of them wear GPS units in their uniform to track how much mileage. I don't care what the stat sheet said of how long that gain was. That dude ran a long way, all the way across the field, but it paid dividends.
Up to the line, and they're set. First and 10. Working inside the red zone. Cut by Sutton. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have first and goal to figure out.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
First and goal, here's Williams. And he's brought down for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
We'll see them tackle second and goal after the break. It's the Broncos with the ball, trying to close out what would currently be a win. Line of scrimmage once again, that 7-yard line as they get set, second and goal. Here's Nix. That's complete. It's Javonte Williams. It's a Denver touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Just about set for football. Blake Groupie is ready to get us started. And we are underway from Miami. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, they certainly took a shot to open this game. I know it backfired with the interception, but no lack of bravado from that sideline at all. And look, they told us before the ball game, they wanted to be a little more dangerous on offense. They wanted to take a few more chances. That opening pass certainly set a tone. Maybe a turnover, but I don't think it'll stop them from trying again the rest of this game.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
To throw his car. Little short pass here to Hill. He's into space past the 25, and he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. On play action, it's Carr. Touchdown, Saints! From 8 yards out. And the Saints use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Blake Groupie now for the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is. And his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
Play action. Now it's Tua out to his left. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Tua going to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Tua on 4th down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Anthony Schwartz, 51 yards. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill, 66 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Anthony Schwartz with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from evening this one up. So that, Charles, his second touchdown of the ball game. He had the more standard receiving touchdown earlier. This time he finds the end zone in the run game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he said, well, that's how I normally do it. That's almost boring. Give me another opportunity. This time I'll use my legs only and get into the end zone.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws out.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll... down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, 39 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the